who don't hold back when it comes to criticizing the current president. They collectively call themselves the Lincoln Project. It includes frequent guests on this broadcast, including but not limited to Rick Wilson and Steve Schmidt. They write, quote, publicly supporting a Democratic nominee for president is a first for all of us. We are in extraordinary times, and we have chosen to put country over party. And former Vice President Joe Biden is the candidate who we believe will do the same. Still with us, Eugene Robinson and the aforementioned Steve Schmidt. Steve, you know, it's one thing for Bernie and Obama and Warren to endorse their fellow Democrat. Trenches are one thing, they're being good Democrats. Speaking of trenches, you guys made your bones attacking and trying to defeat, in many cases successfully, Democrats. You are trench fighters. It must have taken a lot to migrate from where you were to where you are tonight.
I think a lot happened, Brian. It didn't take a lot. I think it was obvious, and I think we all feel called to support the vice president because the Republican Party that we all belong to, that we fought for, is dead. It's a remnant of the past. It's not coming back. It's been utterly corrupted by Donald Trump and Trumpism, and that's too bad for the country. But the larger point is we're in the middle of the defining event of American life in our lifetimes. There's been no event more epic than this. Not the 9/11 attacks, not the Great Recession in 2009, nothing. It will take an act of monumental leadership to pull this country back together, to unite it, to heal it, and to lead a recovery that will be as difficult to come out of as was the Great Depression, with similar economic rates, similar jobless numbers, waves of bankruptcies and devastation that will result from the coronavirus epidemic. This is also a global phenomenon. The entire world is experiencing this together in an interconnected world, and we see a rescission of American leadership. The United States looks like a laughingstock on the world stage. The response from the federal government makes the country look weak and backwards. We see what played out aboard a forward deployed nuclear aircraft carrier, the disgrace of the Secretary of the Navy, the constant politicization of the military, the attacks on our essential institutions, the authoritarian fetish that we've seen play out with this administration from the beginning, and the abject incompetence and the misinformation in the handling of this crisis. So it's an urgent moment in American life. And what we say in the op-ed, it's the most significant election the country has faced since 1864, which essentially decided whether we were to be a country at all or not. I think the stakes are that high. And I think a coalition of decent people in this country were sick of the division, the dishonesty, the incompetence, the malfeasance, the narcissism, and the selfishness and the unfitness by the President of the United States in small moments and big moments, and now in this epic moment of crisis, that we can do better, and Joe Biden is the guy to do it.
My early money and my money still has been on Kamala Harris. I think she's my front runner for the vice presidential nomination. But he has an array of perfectly well qualified potential vice presidential picks, and there's this kind of an embarrassment of riches there for him to choose from. And just two quick thoughts. Number one, I really never thought I'd live to see the one day where Elizabeth Warren and Steve Schmidt endorsed the same politician for president. Mm-hmm. I never thought I would live to see that day. And the second thought is, you heard everything Steve said. Government matters. Politics and government really matter, and we're seeing every day the consequences of an election, the consequences of the 2016 election. We see this administration bungling its way through this unparalleled crisis, and we've got to fix this. We've got to fix this in November. This is the election where we've all got to